they just feel strong to me, and yet they keep losing. I can't put the pieces together, but it is what it is. All right, welcome to Game 2 of the series. We've got Talisman has won one game, 236 VPs in the bank. Siddolio now playing a little bit from behind, but the factions are switched. We're still on crossroads. Talisman's Soviets. He loves Soviets. Versus Siddolio's Ostheer. And Siddolio's Osttruppen beat Von Ivan in a pretty long game. Very long game against Lend-Lease. He was able to go tier 4 and stop Von Ivan's waves of M4C Shermans. So I'm very curious to see if Siddolio can pull off something similar against Talisman here. Talisman's got Armored Assault, Tank Hunter, and Guard Rifle. Tank Hunter's been on YouTube lately as being kind of a cheesy sort of commander with the anti-tank grenades. Are seemingly maybe a bit strong, but don't think Talisman's going to go Tank Hunter. I think there's a decent chance we may just see more Armored Assault, but we'll see what he chooses to do. Siddolio opens with 2 squads of Osttruppen for early map control, as well as an MG42, mostly playing for the left side.
We have more conscripts at our disposal. The fascists are attacking. Do not let them advance.
And yes, you can, Emmy. I guess I'll... I don't know if my mods are... Name's too hard to type.
This now belongs to the people and workers of the Soviet Union.
Osttruppen ready.
Enemy troops attacking.
MG42 gets caught on the move.
Enemy forces are attempting to
Conscripts will have to hide behind this shrub. And the machine gun does not have a line, so these Osttruppen will clearly lose this engagement. Although more Osttruppen are on the way. So it looks like Siddolio has this under control. MG42 forces the combat engineers to retreat. He should be able to use the wounded squad to go back cap while his healthy squads worry about the front lines. And Siddolio's cutoff game is very strong. Last game, this game, he always seems to be on your cutoff. Even as Brits and as Osttruppen, it'll probably be even more annoying because he's already got 4 squads of Osttruppen out. So cheap and spammable. Just put some Osttruppen in some buildings. Be as annoying as possible on your opponent's cutoff. MG42 struggling to find targets though. Talisman's good at avoiding it. They're taking a wide enough path that the MG42 will likely not be able to find them. Circling around to the fuel. Meanwhile, on the cutoff, more Osttruppen are showing up to try and help. Ooh, that flamethrower popped at just the right moment, though, and it looks like these Osttruppen are gonna lose. They have got to run. No choice. Going down fast, that flamethrower made a huge difference in that engagement. Conscripts also winning over here.
Soviet HQ now includes a field hospital.
They're sturdy, but they just can't do any damage. Late retreat. Late retreat. What is he waiting for? He must not be monitoring them. They're gonna die. Ouch.
We have lost a squad. The enemy is taking our territory.
Not sure how he managed to forget about that squad. Clearly he was trying to deal with some conscripts over here with his MG42. Cost him.
Our opponents are
He might get to trade though. Unfortunately, he guessed their retreat path somewhat wrong. But he still has a line, and there they go. Nice pickup for Siddolio. Good trade. Good trade. Now trade Osttruppen for conscripts anytime.
The territory is out of contact.
Of course, there's no real reason for him to lose that squad of Osttruppen, but still. All that matters is results.
Conscripts have arrived.
Not how it's done. Just that it's done.
It is now under our control. Keep firing. engineers are standing by.
Well, Strupen is supposed to be an early map control build, but Siddolio just can't get any. Talisman is everywhere. Well, Strupen cannot win against conscript spam, it seems, unless the MG42 does a lot of work. And in this engagement, it did pretty good work. Forced 2 retreats, which is exactly what Siddolio needed. If he had lost that engagement, he would be looking at losing the game, I think. But he manages to force everything to retreat and hold the line just a little bit longer. There's a half-track in production. A half-track will definitely help with Siddolio's field presence. You don't see the Oster half-track very frequently. But this should be interesting. I wonder if he'll get the flamethrower upgrade.
We have a fresh half-track at our disposal.
Pretty tough to keep this thing alive against conscripts ooh-rawing straight towards it and throwing AT grenades, so we'll see how that goes. MG42 is gonna get in this building despite the fact that it has no health and there are 2 flamethrowers on the field. Nice merge. That flamethrower is going to be able to stay in the field a lot longer than the Oster one unless that half-track gets into this engagement to support. Very fiddly engagement right here. Trying to find ways to damage each other without getting in the building and without taking too much damage themselves. Looks like Siddolio somehow is pulling ahead. Meanwhile, left side, Ostrupen will win this easily since they can forward reinforce. Man, they just do 0 damage. They just do, like, no damage. Conscript's just standing right out in the open at point-blank range. Still can't kill him. Not going to be able to take the cutoff with such a weak force. That MG42 needs to reinforce as well. Looks like the half-track is going to rotate to enable that. More Ostrupen coming out of the base. Siddolio actually has not purchased a unit for a little while, spending all of his manpower on reinforcement. Still quite far away from Tier 3. Meanwhile, Tier 3 is already up. And Talisman's base and a T-70 is on its way, which means Siddolio really needs to get an AT gun ASAP. And a teller mine wouldn't hurt either. Good read by Siddolio on his next build decision. Usually at 9 minutes into the game, you don't really want to only have 4 squads of Ostrupen. I mean, these could all be Grens. It's gonna be hard to survive on Ostrupen instead of Grens, when the Ostrupen didn't even do the thing they are really supposed to do, which is take a lot of early map control.
We are losing a sector.
I don't know if Siddolio is going to be able to stop this assault. 3 cons, a flamethrower, and a T-70. Plus, these could flank from south if they wanted to. I think Siddolio could potentially bleed quite a lot of manpower here. Just reinforcing out of that half-track.
Our opponents are seizing a sector. Resupply by air is now available, Commander.
Comes the flank. The machine gun is extremely damaged. Here comes another flank. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. Machine gun really needs to set up. The AT gun is faced the right direction. Good, good presence of mind with the AT gun. Shot connects. MG42 sets up and forces the retreats. Siddolio is hanging on. He's hanging on to this part of the map. He refuses to be forced off the field. It's expensive, but at least he's not in his base. T70 rotates right, forcing that retreat. There's a demo on this house. That one's not taking advantage of any camera angle shenanigans, so there's a decent chance Siddolio might spot that, unless he enters the north door. Guess we'll see. Haven't seen demo charges wipe anything this tournament, which has got to be a first, like in tournament history. No demo wipes. It's got to be demo wipes. Losing his vetted MG42 in that house, for example, that would be painful. Really painful. Although not as painful as it just dying normally and being lost to the enemy, so I don't know. There's a teller mine. I'm waiting for one of those to go down. But the T70 is being used quite defensively. Not a very good chance of that hitting a teller mine.
Supply lines.
Max him out for Talisman. Pointed straight at the fuel point, but not before Siddolio manages to capture it. Supply drop. That drops an AT gun, I believe, right? Yes, I think so. Yeah, AT gun and an MG42, which is a pretty strong thing. Finally, Siddolio will start to be able to take advantage of his faction, and of course that makes the half-track that much more attractive, being able to reinforce those team weapons and squads immediately right there on the field. 450 manpower, he gets a pretty good boost. Might be able to actually break out of his box a little bit now. He does have vision on the demo charge, but he doesn't seem to have noticed it. Late retreat. They'll be alright. Moro's trooping. Moving up to the green cover position, and they can reinforce in combat, so they will easily win this engagement. And he does have vision. Will he notice? Not sure. Oh, yes, he did notice. All right, good for him. No demo wipes.
Enemy forces are securing our territory. The sector has been cut off.
Even with his team weapon injection, he just can't seem to get out of his base.
We are losing a sector.
Fatally being pushed back, but he's got a decent size force here. He should be able to take some map control. Like, numerically, it just seems like he should be able to win. Against conscripts without, they don't even have Molotovs. There is one Maxim over here, but that should be the most challenging thing he has to deal with. T70 hasn't done too much bleed either. It's only got 5 kills. That's true. The double flamethrower is tough. Got some mines going down. The late game insurance policy. Flamethrower in the half track. Gonna go for a flank over here, maybe. Do we have AT grenades? Yes, we do. Might lose the half track if he's not careful. There are T-70 and 2 conscript squads right here. Immediately takes engine damage. Damage from the T-70 as well. He's trying to pull back to safety. Flamethrower is not quite outside the Maxim's arc and gets suppressed, but it does pack up and take some friendly fire as well. Katyusha barrage coming in the middle of all this, but it looks like it's not really going to hit anything. And an MG42 is actually forcing some retreats. So it looks like Siddolio should take this engagement, and if he can get an AT gun to point at that T-70, he might even pick it up. No, he won't. He wasn't quite able to get the engine damage down. Pretty good engagement for Siddolio. Forces all the retreats, eats up a little bit of his opponent's munitions, but doesn't lose the half track. All things considered, I would say that was a success. For him, might get a little bit of map control out of that, taking back the left side and finding an opportunity to send 2 squads right. They'll just get boxed in by the T-70 anyway. He's not really going to get a whole lot of resources doing that. Got a teller mine over here somewhere. Maybe that would help. Engine damage. He really needs a tank of his own, but he's so far from one. He just can't hold on to a fuel point.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Where's the Maxim? Maxim's still in base reinforcing, so Siddolio should easily hold the line here. T-34 is a little scary, but he's got 2 AT guns, so there's no reason he shouldn't be able to hold the line here. Although he very nearly lost his flamethrower, that would have been painful.
Enemy forces are securing our territory. The territory is out of contact.
Engine damage once more on the T-70, trying to force that off the field for repairs. He's got tons of munitions, so he can afford it. Kind of funny, actually, that he's got 42 munitions coming in, but only 19 fuel and just starved for fuel. Where are his machine guns? He needs a machine gun to support. Not moving.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Here it comes.
We are losing a sector.
And they get away clean. Going for engine damage on that half track, but without any follow-up, so won't be a big deal.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Actually got Vet 2 on the almost Vet 3, in fact, on that half track. Been doing a pretty good amount of work of its own against conscript squads. Finally, Tier 3's up, and he begins the... He's actually closer to a tank than I thought. I feel like he had less fuel than that. I don't know. Suddenly he has fuel. All right, I guess he will have a Panzer IV pretty soon. And he is not going Tier 4, notably.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Shared veterancy. Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Okay. That makes more sense. Although I think it actually has been doing pretty I mean, it's got 9 kills. That's cool, though. More reinforced radius at Vet 3. Man, that plane is brutal. You gotta watch out for that ability. Once that starts coming in, your infantry are just gonna get torn to shreds. Katyusha coming into the base. Off target a little. If he had just targeted it, like, right there, he could have picked up tons of kills. It's got 5, but that's not anything to be super excited about, I don't think. Ostwind on the way. Maybe he's hoping that in addition to cutting down conscripts, he'll also be able to shoot down some planes. He's already got 2 AT guns, so he's just going to try and have an AT wall, plus anti-infantry tanks. Anti-infantry and anti-air tanks, but he is triple capped, running low on time. In theory, he could still secure a victory point lead, but not for long. Talisman with 236 VPs in the bank. Siddolio would have to stop the clock pretty much right now. Not looking like he's going to be able to do that.
Enemy forces are securing our territory. Our lines of supply are disrupted.
Trying for engine damage. Probably just going to cost him conscripts and accomplish very little. There's the retreat. Meanwhile, a Maxim also proving difficult to deal with. I think Siddolio really needs a mortar or some kind of indirect fire. He himself is trying to fight under Katyusha fire. Has no indirect fire of his own.
Enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Ostwind getting the job done regardless. Talisman looking for flanking opportunities, but not finding them. Oh, he's just walked right into a Katyusha barrage. Oh, God. That was somewhat needless. Needless bleed. Nothing wiped, though. Ostwind in a little trouble, and the AT gun is in motion. Oh, no. Railway artillery just got dropped somewhere. Right there for some reason. T-34 is diving, and neither AT gun has a line, and there's no teller mine either. Ostwind might go down right here. This T-34 coming up from the south takes engine damage. Siddolio needs to try and find some way to kill a tank without losing one of his own, or it could be the game. Ostwind retreats into base, but it will be destroyed. There it goes. AT guns taking shots. One more shot. Really needs to kill these tanks. He needs to trade or it's over. There goes one. This one has engine damage and may go down as well. He needs to find the line, though.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Half track is still up, and he's able to reinforce out of it. I think Siddolio might weather the storm, but it's costing him map control and VPs here. And that plane! Oh my God! Just carnage. Is it over? Okay, it's over, and the T-34 gets away clean. Painful, painful for sure. Siddolio couldn't afford to lose his Ostwind and not kill more in return. He only killed one T-34, and it seemed like he lost tons of infantry. Wow. Half track is dead. There you have it. That's the end of game 2. It's currently 2-0 Talisman. And I have to do math now. 385 plus 236 is 621. Is that right? $621. Yes, that is right. Going into game 3.